just keep recording while we kind of we'd go over the final touches for this.
Yeah, I think that's fine. Hawk can edit out everything. Just remember, he's been known to put stuff at the beginning of episodes if we make some kind of weird comment.
Yeah. I can guarantee you he's not going to edit out you looking up the brackets.
Man, we're such a professional podcast here. Hello, I am Lumaga.
I am MrAngryPants.
And I am Sean, also known as secretlyasliver.
And this is Go Mode, a Link to the Past randomizer podcast. Wow, it's been a hot minute. We've not had as many podcast episodes this year as I thought, but it's a good time to have one. It's going to be fall soon. Leaves are going to start changing. Back to school. Pumpkin spice is back everywhere, literally everywhere. How you guys been?
I'm pretty good. We've been busy for reasons we'll get into shortly. But I think I did take a trip to Germany too, so that was kind of wonderful. I'm still it's been 2.5 weeks since I got back, and I'm ready for more vacation though.
Yeah, just keeping myself busy with the aforementioned things, and just no trips to Germany here, but I did recently look at how much PTO I have, and work is threatening me to use it. So maybe sometime in the near future.
That is a good problem to have.
Yeah, I say work over there threatening you with a good time.
Well, I'm actually doing pretty good too. Now that, like I said, school's back in session, so I have the house to myself on days that I work from home because my kids are in school and my wife is, back to teaching. So, I'm kind of, it's just nice and quiet here most days. And maybe I'll be able to sneak in like a quick pickup match over lunch or something. I don't know. But, I've also been busy, right? I mean, let's dig into it. Have been helping manage the mentor tournament, which is concluding, right? We have that every year. This is our seventh successful tournament. And it's always rough going through it, but getting to the end is like, man, it was a good time. So it's ending, right? We've had most of our finals matches at this point. We are still waiting on one. So we've got our gold sword winner, Sin Dennis, and he was the victor over Spica. We actually have an interview with Sin Dennis later in this episode, so check that out. Our tempered sword winner was Kiko89 over Simon. Master sword, we had Indio over Bobsled. And there's actually a bronze match that happened between Dr. John and Bane. Dr. John took that bronze match in the silver in the bracket, and then our fighter sword bracket has not yet concluded. We do have Shiniste and Dekar 112 going to a game 3, and the way schedules work, that's going to be on September 14th, Sunday, September 14th. So check that out. That will be the last match of the mentor tournament. Yeah, like I said, it's a lot of work, but glad to get through it. MrAngryPants, you did a lot of help. What were your thoughts on it?
Well, I do want to say that fighter sword game, Shiniste and Decker both really wanted to get on Restream, and I told them if that's what they wanted to do, so Shiniste and Decker both are in Europe, and our Restreamers are all in the eastern part of the US. So I told them we can make sure it happens if it's on a weekend. And so they found a weekend that works for them, which happened to be the 14th. So a little bit of a delay, but they really wanted to put on a show for everybody, and they'll be the ones closing out the tournament for us this year. But yeah, as far as the tournament as a whole, it's it is so much work and so much time to start it up, and then those 6 weeks of Swiss with the mentors. I mean, we're doing 26, 27, maybe 28. I can't remember the exact number of entrants we had, but 28 matches with 2 runners and 2 mentors for each, trying to schedule that time at like every single week we're doing that. It's a lot of work. We're really busy. We did up the number of asyncs we this year using McMonkey's Uncle Bot, which helped out a bunch. But then, as you said, we get to this we get to the end here. And things are calming down. As we get to brackets and people start getting knocked out, and it's fun to be able to get to watch more of them too, and get to restream more. But what about you, Sean? What are your thoughts on the tournament? I know you were mentoring this year, as you have every year since 2023.
Yeah, so I had 3 runners that basically used me for almost the whole tournament, and some smatterings here and there of kind of one-offs, and then I was doing the restreaming thing as well. But yeah, I really like the mentor tournament. I really like the structure and the zone for learning that it gives, and how it just introduces how it introduced me in 2022 as someone who had never really interacted with the community as a whole before. Just gives you that in to talk to people and to make those connections. And big shout out to the async process. I know we had probably more than we would have liked, but some people just, that's how the schedule falls. But yeah, big shout out to the mods who facilitated that process. Definitely seemed to go fairly smoothly mostly.
Yeah, definitely a lot of asyncs. If I were more prepared on this, I would have gathered the number of asyncs, but it doesn't matter. It was a lot of work to get those done. We got them done. Another, stat I want to actually put out here is the restreams we put on. So Jean, you actually did a lot of them. You did, by my count, 25 restreams. And MrAngryPants, you also did 15 of them. And Furious Prince and I did 10 each. So, between the 4 of us, we had 60 matches listed on Go Mode podcast Twitch channel. And MrAngryPants has been exporting all of those to YouTube. So they're permanently stored on our channel. So, a lot of work goes into that. Consider you have, a tracker and 2 comms on each of those. It's a lot of hours for people to put in, right? You mentioned the mentors. Obviously, they're a crucial part of this. We literally cannot have the mentor tournament without mentors. So it's just incredible that this community, for as long as we've had this tournament, just continues to show up for this event. And it breathes new life and new blood into the tournament, or rather into the community. And there are a lot of, up and coming runners who, have been in this tournament and maybe the last year and years back. You see people who are now, making a statement in a lot of these tournaments. So it's a great kind of fixture of the community. And I'm just thankful that, to everyone who puts their time into it.
Yeah, I had looked up our asyncs. I didn't verify the numbers, but it was somewhere around 50 matches, I think, were asynced. It was quite a few. that we had. I don't believe any of the bracket matches were asynced. I think all of those were done live.
I think actually there might have been one series that was partially asynced in the Tempered Sword bracket, but yes, largely they were live.
Yeah, and one the growing of the community this year. I had the count now. Well over a month ago, but I want to say we had somewhere around 56, 57 people in the tournament, and over 20 of them were not from the US. Like English was not their primary language. So we have with a large majority of those 20 plus were from Germany. So our German friends over there have been really bringing new players in, and we had in our finals, we had, I want to say 4 of the 8 players were German. We had Spica, Kiko, Deck, and so three were German, and Shaniste is French. So half of our finalists are from Europe. So I just think that's a great stat with showing the growth in the community.
Yeah, definitely. The German community is now going to have a big push for new members in their next national tournament that they have regularly. And just shout out the German community real quick. They're always coming up with awesome ideas. I mean, they gave us Duality, right? They gave us there's a German swordless variety, right? I mean, just such an innovative community, and so I'm glad to see that they're growing.
They also have the Tassenturnier, which is the cup tournament, where the winner gets a mug that looks really nice.
An actual cup tournament. That's awesome. Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, look for the Fighter Sword game on the September 14th. I don't have the time, actually.
I believe it's noon Eastern.
You are correct. Yeah. So noon Eastern on the 14th. Check that out. And as a conclusion to the tournament, there have been several years where we've done something fun just as, admins, moderators, volunteers, whatever, that we've put on. So last year, right, MrAngryPants, you and I were part of this Kiss Priest relay where we did 10.
We were a team even.
That's right. Well, this way you can't beat me. So we did that Kiss Priest relay last year with the other mods, and that was awesome. We had Rooslugs in there. Way back when, in 2020, we had like a bingo event where, Xylo, Amarith, and Lady Box Thief and I had a 4-way blackout bingo with things, with cards actually submitted by GoMode community members. I would love to do something, with the three of us. I think, we three put in a hell of a lot of work in this tournament, and it would be fun to just close it out with the three of you, or the two of you.
Yeah, I think that sounds like a great idea. What about you, Sean?
Yeah, I'd definitely be down for that. Bingo sounds like some fun. Some nice little chaos and game knowledge stuff. So
we'll look forward to that. No concrete plans, but we'll close out the tournament after everything is all said and done.
All right, I think we'll move on to our community roundup. So some rather big-ish news out of TARC. They've clarified the rules for it's the being in chat or a way that's used to detect stream sniping effectively. They've clarified that, and and put that into our racing rules. They've also enacted what they're calling the Tark bot, which is a bot that is present in the race time rooms and will be and will check if players in the race time room are listed in the chat or as a viewer for other runners to and alert them to be like, hey, you're in here. Maybe you were getting a link so you could put it on your stream title or whatnot, and you forgot to close the window, and it gives you a little ping saying, hey, you're here. Make sure you close out that window.
I actually did exactly that in a league race against Lucian Greeth this past league season. He and I are both part of another community, and I wanted to make sure I got his Twitch account name right. So I went to his channel, left the window open. I swear I did not cheat. I was very open with both Tark and the league admins and Lucian Greeth on this, but it was open, and TarkBot would have detected me in the chat. And it's just something to show, like, it protects the user, or it protects the racers from something accidental like this, right? Because it happens. It's an accident. It's not sinister. But I'm glad we have this sort of technology to help protect people.
Yeah, that came up in ALTTPR League a few years ago, where one of the runners was watching a completely unrelated Twitch stream that then raided, I believe, the restream that they were on. So, and you show up in somebody's chat, even if you're only using a chat program to open that, even if you're not actually watching the stream, it looks bad. So I think that's a good addition, just to say, hey, just close out of this and everything's fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I'm in complete agreement. I know it's so often not intentional or not malicious, but it can cause you to have to forfeit a race, because of that. So if we can prevent that from happening, even a few times, perfect. I think it's a good little shout out to Tark for doing something like this. We have a couple more updates from Tark. So you are able to open King's Tomb with pseudo boots. I believe it's something like it's not as straightforward as doing it with regular boots. I'm not positive on it, but that has been ruled as a banned thing to do by Tark, with the fact that it's a bug within the rando code that will eventually get patched out. And then the other one is the Armos shake storage. You are able to get the Armos shake storage is you preserve the shake, the screen shake from Armos, and use that to open up the lumberjack tree without boots. You can get the same thing if you have boots, but if you're in a non-inverted mode, you have boots, so it doesn't matter. But if you're in inverted, you can actually bonk in the light world to preserve the shake from it, and then go to the lumberjack as a bunny, and that will break the tree. And that has been ruled as an allowed glitch by Tark, which, again, it's going to have very limited use. Inverted, I guess maybe some I think just inverted. There might be some other overworld rando modes that I'm not positive about. But what are your thoughts on both of those, Sean?
Yeah, so the pseudo boots thing, basically, it is pretty much as straightforward as with the boots. Basically, if you attempt to open King's Tomb just like you would with the regular boots by slashing your sword to one side and tapping A, you just spam A and eventually it will open. You can also arm spin speed or hook speed with pseudo boots and just push up against King's Tomb and it will eventually open. So that was banned by Tark just because like you said, it's rando only and it will probably get patched out at some point. And it's kind of defeats the stated purpose of pseudo boots anyway. So just go find your regular boots. The other thing with screen shake, we have something we're going to talk about later where that may also come up. But yeah, that was deemed allowed because I believe there's something else that's allowed that that is an application of an already existing glitch that is allowed. So yeah, I agree with both of these rulings. We don't really need to be opening King's Tomb with pseudo boots.
Do you have anything to add to those rulings, Lumaga?
I don't play the modes where these would be relevant, so I don't have any direct, strong opinion either way. But it seems consistent at least. So I'm glad to see these rulings are following what's already been done, what's precedent. So I don't have any strong opinion either way.
We have last little bit of Tark news is it's always a bummer. A player was banned for alting. It was a previously banned player. The alt was banned after being discovered. And you do dumb stuff, you're going to get caught. I think we say it every time it comes up.
Don't cheat.
Yeah.
Don't cheat in the first place, and then try and weasel your way back into the community. People have been caught many times, and they will continue to be caught.
But our for our last little bit of our community roundup, I believe we plugged it last episode, but Speed Gaming Live is coming up. We are we're like 6 weeks away, something like that. It is coming at the end of October. It is a live tournament in Northern Virginia. I'm going to be there. Lumaga is going to be there. I believe Sean's going to be there. Like we're all going to be there. It is so much fun to go. Encourage everybody to attend at least once if you're able to. Yeah, I just enjoy Speed Gaming Live so much.
I've told this story a couple times now where 2019 was the first year of Speed Gaming Live, and I did not know as many people in the community as I do now, right? And I knew I wasn't good enough to really compete and thought, I'm not going to go, whatever. And then I see, everything happening on Twitch. I read in not only the Speed Gaming Live Discord, but the GMP Discord, all the fun things that are happening, seeing the pictures of people, having a great time, meeting each other. It's like, it's such a great experience. And I'm like, I'm going to do anything I can to get to next year's tournament in 2020. And,
oh no.
Yeah, so it didn't come back until 2022, but I've been there every year since, and I will continue to go as long as I am able to attend. So definitely, even if you're on the fence, I would push you to go.
Yeah, so just in case this is new information to anybody, this happens in Herndon, Virginia, just outside of Washington, D.C. There will be a Link to the Past randomizer tournament, but there are also other tournaments for other randomizers and other games. There's something new they're doing with like an NES relay, I believe. I haven't paid too much attention to it. But yeah, I'm excited to see that. I will be there. I just booked my hotel room last night, so my wallet is crying, but it will calm down eventually. And yeah, it's a lot of fun, and like there's so much to do even outside of the gaming. It's right there by the Washington Dulles International Airport. The hotel has a shuttle that goes back and forth from the airport to the venue, and there are plenty of people that will have transportation, so you can definitely go around and do stuff. And if you come in from out of town, definitely set aside a day, go see Washington. It's a very nice city. Lots of great museums and monuments and that sort of thing.
I'd like to plug one more thing for Speed Gaming Live. So there's always events. There's official events. There's unofficial events that have happened. One thing this year that we're trying to do, and I've already pulled people into it, is GMP wants to put on a Family Feud Zelda-themed game, right? So if you're not familiar with Family Feud, right, you have two teams of maybe 4 or 5 people answering a question, and the value of the answer is based on a survey that has been given to 100 people. So I don't know, just a off the cuff question could be asked. What is the worst dungeon to be a pendant dungeon, right? Or I don't know, what's something stupid like that. And that'd be a question that'd be asked in a survey with a bunch of other questions. Then the one of the two teams would be able to answer, and you say like, okay, I don't know, Eastern Palace for whatever reason. Maybe that's the top answer. You get points from that. It goes back and forth. If you're familiar with Family Feud, this is all redundant to you. If you're not familiar with it, check out some clips on YouTube. But we want to put this on on one of the days. We've already started soliciting a survey with a bunch of these questions, and I'm going to put a link, or I'm going to have Dante put a link out to the form for the broader community to start answering this survey, so that we build up the question content or the answer content. And I would really love to have this streamed on the Go Mode Podcast Twitch channel. So in order to do that, I'm putting out a call for a couple volunteers. One, we would want to volunteer to have some OBS scenes set up and manage the scoreboard, the answers, and all of this. And two, if somebody is going to be on site at SGL and is a charismatic and not too super inverted host or host like person who wants to host this event, that'd be really awesome. Is somewhere between Richard Dawson and Steve Harvey, right? Would be fine, right? Two hosts of Family Feud, but reach out to us if you either want to build out the OBS scenes and the content, or if you're going to be on site and would like to host this. It's something that MrAngryPants and I have tossed around and built out some content for. I really want to see this happen.
Yeah, I have been able to help Lumaga with the questions, so I hope we get a load of responses with this, and we get some people who want to participate and host and just make it a good time.
All right. Well, let's take a look at some of the tournaments that are going on around the rando community. We have the Spoiler Log tournament, which is new for this year. Normally we have an entry in Speed Gaming Live Online. Decided to shift that away from Speed Gaming Live this time. So that is currently in brackets. They have a double elimination bracket going on. Do you guys like Spoiler?
I Like I do. Well, so I've only ever done pilot spoiler, and I enjoy it, but it is, it is like 40 to 70 minutes of just stress. Like, so if you don't like stress, well, yeah, maybe someone who's different than me doesn't get stressed out at it, but I go through those scenes just absolutely stressed out. And so I don't like doing them too often, but they can be a lot of fun. I did not enter this one though because it coincided with Mentor tournament and my vacation, and I'm like, I'm not gonna be that guy who's gonna be like, sorry, I'm gone for 3 weeks.
So I do like spoiler, and I like pilot spoiler. I think better because I'm only doing one of the things. I'm piloting or I'm racing. Spoiler is fine. They've had this tournament predating Speed Gaming Online, but I'm glad to see it's still continuing even post Speed Gaming Online for this. But I did join this tournament, and I was eliminated twice, and so I'm out. I lost to Magno, and then I lost to Flying Platypus Dimitri, who was one of our mentees this year. So good luck to everybody else in that. There's a lot of really good spoiler racers in that tournament.
Yeah, I looked at the brackets, and the top 5 are it is who you expect it to be. It's Gamma, it's Gem, it's Telethar. I think Jamo's in the top 5. I can't remember exactly, but it is everybody who you would expect it to be is excelling at that tournament.
Yeah, I like spoiler because it retains the randomization that you get with rando, but it also makes execution matter a lot more, and you get the extra tiny little benefit of being able to watch your opponent. So that's, it's a benefit for some and maybe not for others.
I didn't bother. I have too much to focus on while I'm racing and reviewing my log and making sure I didn't screw up the ordering of something to also watch somebody else race the same race.
Yeah. So we also have the Cross Keys tournament, which the Swiss has concluded. There is one tiebreaker play-in race left before we go on to brackets. I believe that is happening. That has not happened at the time of recording, but keep your eyes on the Discord for that. And then we also had an announcement for Beer League Season 2. Beer League Season 1 was a lot of fun, but they made the determination to kind of simplify the modes a little bit. So now we still have 4 modes. First one is your normal co-op open all dungeons. And we also have co-op Enemizer, and they decided to not do logical Enemizer, which, if you don't know what that is, that's a very long explanation that I'm not going to get into right now. And then there are 2 solo modes. One is Open Boots, and one is All Dungeons Key Sanity. I will be participating in that. Are either of you going to be participating in Beer League?
I am not this year, or rather this season. I know you and I hooked up with Tenet last Beer League, but just with other things that I'm focusing on right now, no Beer League.
Yeah, I looked into it. I had actually I saw one of our mentees from this year had put out looking for a team, and I did reach out to him and say, look, if you end up needing one more, let me know, because I think it's a worthwhile event to join. But then he ended up getting scooped up by Sean and Tenet, so I didn't have to play, which I'm okay with.
I'm glad that something like this exists. So it was actually put out as a kind of a companion. No, I wouldn't say a competitor, but a companion to League Season 7, because there were people who didn't really care for the modes and wanted something a little more bread and butter. So this definitely fills that gap. And them having it twice in a year. I mean, thank you, Homemade Beer, for putting this out there, so people can just continue to play, form relationships, and just compete among the community.
I agree. I've said it before in numerous discords, but co-op to me is such a fun way to play the game. That was a big draw for why I was willing to play if it came down to it. But also with the wrapping up of the mentor tournament, I was okay just taking a break too.
Yeah, so as AngryPants mentioned, I am on a team with Tenet and one of our mentor tournament alumni, Zach Sarai. And we were kind of discussing it in one of my other communities. And I believe there are at least 5 teams that have mentees from this year on them, or are comprised completely of mentees from this year. So that's really good to see. So now we go on to the big one. The main tournament has just recently announced what modes they have gone with for this year. The first mode, it's a weird one. We have open all dungeons with overworld. I believe the name is Tile Flip. It used to be named Tile Swap, but I believe it's something else now. So essentially the overworld Tile Flip is basically it's a 50-50 shot, whether the screen you just transitioned to is the light world version or the dark world version. And you will always have an indicator to show which world you're in. There's a little L or a little D up at the corner of the screen, just so you know, for logical reasons. Like if you have the Moon Pearl, and that you won't always be able to tell whether you're in the light or dark world. So that's a bit of a change from the past, and the first time that Overworld Rando is going to be used for main tournament. The other modes are Logical Enemizer with Chaos Boss Shuffle. That means that there's no restrictions on which bosses can be in any dungeons. You can have 11 Trinexes. Kabuki, or Casual Boots all dungeons key sanity. That's just all dungeons key sanity with a Casual Boots start. Cross keys, I shouldn't have to explain that. And Casual Boots without the all dungeons key sanity. So do you all have any thoughts on some of those modes?
Do you want me to go first before you pull out the soapbox, Lumaga?
Go for it.
I like the format that they're doing this year. A little better than last year. Last year's they had, I think, 3 modes, and there was no veto. This one, each person gets a veto, so you can do away with one of the modes that you don't like. I haven't played the Tile Swap / Tile Flip. It is intriguing for me. I think it would be. It seems I don't know. It seems interesting. The probably my main gripe with it is not that it's Tile Swap. It's that it's all dungeons. With Kabuki already being in there as an AD. I don't know. I'm not a fan of all dungeons. And so I would have preferred to see only one all dungeon mode. I love Enemizer. So any tournament that throws an Enemizer in there, I'm okay with. I think one clarification with the Chaos Boss Shuffle, bosses are still limited by the arenas that they're not allowed into. So there are 3 places, I think, the Trinex can. I don't remember all of them, but there are certain bosses that cannot appear in certain sub arenas. But you could have no bosses of one type show up. or no number of one type of boss show up. So it could get a little weird. Yeah, and then Kabuki, cross keys, casual boots. They're some of the, like, probably the 3 most played modes in the community right now. So I don't necessarily have a problem with it. I think with those 3. But it's a long tournament. The other thing that I saw, they're doing, and they've done this in years past with the requiring the qualifiers. They don't have to be asyncs, but I think some are asyncs and some are not. They're and the way it's been, it's always been done as long as I've been in the community, is you do one qualifier for every mode type, and boy howdy, 5 qualifiers. Maybe I'm just not that much of a racer. That seems like a lot just to be able to play in a tournament. Yeah, I probably will not be playing in it just because of the 5 qualifier requirement and the 280 dungeons. But I'll let you go. Give it a go, Lumaga.
I will be as fair as I can here. I really do like a lot of things about this tournament. First, we didn't mention it. There's a veto system for the modes. So if you do not want to play a mode, you have a veto in each match that you do. And so does your opponent. So you will be open to playing, 3 or 4 of the modes in each series. And if you never want to play Atomizer or cross keys or tile swap, tile flip, you can veto that throughout your whole run in the tournament. I think that is great. There have been other ways that there's been, not so much a veto, but a selection or a preference has been made in the main tournament. And this goes back to before even both of your times, right? I've been following the main tournaments in 2017. There have been ways to say, like, I choose this and I choose not to do this, or hey, I've recently played this, so the card system is going to remove such a mode from my card deck, and I have a much less chance of getting that sort of a mode. So I do like that they have a veto system in this. I think it's a good idea. I do like most of the modes. Last year, having only 3 modes and having cross hunt as one of them felt a little weird, right? So there are 2 modes that were good for most of the community. Cross hunt was not all that popular, not well tested. I know we had boss hunt in a GMP tournament, and cross hunt's just the cross keys version of that. I think a similar thing is happening here with these modes. So you got staple modes: cross keys, casual boots, kabuki, right? Atomizer and logical or stock atomizer. I don't really care. It's still atomizer. I think that the chaos boss shuffle is a little bit much outside of an atomizer specific tournament. Having boss shuffle, right? I mean, you have logical atomizer with boss shuffle in League. That's been a thing for 7 seasons, right? Having atomizer here, this is a common mode. Great, I love it. But chaos boss shuffle, like you said, I mean, it's unlikely, but to get 10 Trinaxes, 11 Trinaxes, but there are a lot of things that don't normally show up that could happen, and it just seems a bit too much. They've turned the dial too much on that. Tile swap. I'm sure a lot of people thought this was tile shuffle, which it is not. And I am very thankful that it is not overworld tile shuffle. Reading the mode looks very cool. I did want to play one before we recorded this, so I can give an honest thought about it. So I have to reserve my thought on this mode for future episode or future Discord rant or something. But in concept, it looks really cool. And apparently it's been around for years, right? I mean, somebody linked something in the dev Discord from 2011. I'm sorry, 2021, not 2011. So it's been around. Friday was the first time I had heard of it, right? Along with a lot of people. And I think that presents a big problem because it is a highly experimental competitive mode. We're going to see how it works, and there will be a lot of opinions after everything is said and done. I do not think that the main tournament, your premier community tournament, should be a testing ground for such a wildly different mode. So I know League added doors this year. I personally pushed to have doors, beginner doors. We got a lot of pushback on that, and that was fair. It's totally different from what's been in League before. Here's the big difference I see, though. League, you have 7 weeks of of 7 different modes, 1 week per mode. You play 0, 1, or 2 of those matches. Here, unless you veto this throughout the tournament, you could potentially be playing it, every other week. I don't know. It's a little bit different. It's tough to compare tournaments in different formats. But I really do think that this is not the right place to introduce such a new high concept mode. And I will step off my soapbox.
I know you gave us the intro to this, Sean, but would you care to share any thoughts on the main tournament this year?
Yeah, so I like the overworld tile swap as a concept, but based on my experiences with door randomizer and what putting a screen that's not supposed to be next to another screen can do, I don't think I'm going to be able to play that mode. I've been told that it's not very bad, but though that information is coming from people who aren't as affected by it as I am. So it really is just going to come down to me testing a seed for myself and seeing if it does affect me in that way or not. But the concept does seem cool. I believe the reason that they made it all dungeons is because of the tile swap. You can have all of your crystal dungeons just be in the light world. So I believe to combat against super, super fast seeds, they made it an all dungeons goal. Chaos Boss Shuffle is what it is. It sounds good in theory, and yes, thank you for the correction that you cannot have 11 Trine X's. I think you can only have a maximum of 7 or 8. But yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Enemizer to begin with. This should not be new information to anyone who has interacted with me before. When I enter dungeons, I like to know what to expect. So like even just enemy shuffle is just completely new ground for me, and I'm not like super into it. Chaos Boss Shuffle over normally you'll see, I believe it's called Full Boss Shuffle, which has 2 instances of 3 bosses and 1 instance of all of the other bosses. I think Chaos, just to change it up, is fine. My big thing is that it's logical enemizer, which means that you're going to have to find things that can kill dead rocks, and the bow is probably always just going to be required because you might have a red mimic in a kill room. When you're going when you hit what might be go mode, I like to be able to just go. Like I like going fast. I'm a speed runner. I like to be able to go fast, but the way the enemizer works is that it just makes you slow down for everything. And I just really, I'm just not a big fan of it. Honestly, that's just what it comes down to. Kabuki, cross keys, and casual boots are fine. I think it's weird that we have 2 casual boots starts. I think maybe one of those could have been an open start, but it is what it is. They determined that that was how they wanted to run their tournament, and that is, of course, their right. I do like that there is a veto system in now, where if you don't want to learn entrance, you can just do your one. You can just do your qualifier match and never have to play it again. You can also kind of use that strategically, which is competitively interesting to me. But since I'm not a huge fan of 3 of these modes, I think it's a big old pass for me.
I will add, so Pants, you said you're going to be out. Sean, you just said you're going to be out. I will still attempt the qualifiers, right? I skipped last year. I dodged last year. But I will still attempt it, and I'm likely to, not qualify in the top 28, but that's okay. I still get the good experience, and I love big races. I've always loved these massive qualifier, or as Timp used to call them, qualifiers, because they take place in the fall. I will be joining this tournament. There's a lot that's still enticing to me about this. I'm not happy about everything, but I will still take part.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me is if you're a new player, try out some of these modes. See how you like them. I probably will fire up one of the tile swap asyncs. I think they're either on James's site or they've linked them somewhere. I haven't been paying too much attention to the asyncs yet, but I know people have been out there playing. I'll probably fire one up and give it a try just to see what it's like. But yeah, I think give them a try. I might even try to do a qualifier just for the hell of it. But yeah, I think Sean also mentioned 2 casual start modes. Is another another thing. I like it. I don't know. It's like the modes. The mode options are in this weird spot where you have some variance, but there's also so much that's the same between them. That I think, but again, like they have 3 of them. 3 of the modes are probably the 3 most played modes. So they there is that aspect to it that I think you're going to have a lot of people that'll like that, and who knows, we might end up getting some people that really enjoy tile swap. But I probably would enjoy open AD tile swap over Kabuki. So get rid of Kabuki next year.
All right, and with the main tournament announcement, usually comes a Challenge Cup announcement. We have not had one yet at the time of recording. Historically, what Challenge Cup is if you go do your qualifiers and you do not qualify for the main tournament, which is the top 128 qualifiers will qualify for the main tournament. And depending on how many drops you get, that might go down. I think number 135 got into main last year. But if you do not qualify for the main tournament, you are eligible for Challenge Cup. Historically, they have followed the main tournament's layout and all of the things that main tournament does. But again, there has not been an announcement to that effect yet. So keep your eyes on some Discords for an official announcement for that.
Yeah, we'll put links to the main tournament Discord and the Challenge Cup Discord in the show notes for everybody. But it is important to point out that Challenge Cup does have a different admin team than main tournament, but they do. They have it is a similar tournament for people that didn't qualify for. So that as I had just said, like if you're wanting to try them out, and you still have a really good chance that you can play in Challenge Cup if you don't make it into the main.
Yeah, so those are the ongoing and upcoming tournaments, but some of the tournaments have concluded since the last podcast 18 months ago. The Kabuki tournament has now concluded. Humbug was the winner, and the runner-up was Telethar. The Enemizer tournament, which I believe was new or resurrected for this year, has also concluded. The winner was Tedo, and the runner-up was Breadcoon, who is a Mentor Tournament alumnus from 2022. That is the same year that I participated in the Mentor Tournament, and I did race Breadcoon in that tournament. You can check out the GMP YouTube to find out how that race went. I won't spoil it. And of course, the Speed Gaming Live, as we mentioned earlier, in the Speed Gaming Live Discord, they have been putting out feelers for what mode people might like to see at SGL. So if you would like to have your voice heard, definitely go over to the SGL Discord.
And I am positive that when the mode is announced, we will all have opinions on it.
This community, I perish the thought.
All right. Well, let's bring Sin Dennis in, because our gold sword champion deserves a little bit of a platform, right? I mean, it's hard to win in this game. It is really hard to win consistently. And Sin Dennis put on one hell of a run throughout the Mentor tournament. So let's get our interview going with Sin Dennis. All right, and we're here with our gold sword champion for 2025, Sin Dennis. Should I refer to you as Sind or Dennis or Sin Dennis, or what do you prefer?
Sind or Dennis is fine. Either one. Yeah.
Sind or Dennis. All right. Well, since Dennis is an actual name, I will probably say that. Okay, so I'm curious to know, like, your first reaction to when you crossed the bridge and you hit done, or you hit the done button, and you are then the champion of the Mentor tournament. What were you feeling at that moment?
Oh man, one was like huge relief, just because I knew that I had won, and it was finally over. And then after that, I couldn't really believe it, yeah, because honestly, I wasn't expecting to win it. I was expecting to lose. So yeah, that was a big surprise to me.
Well, let's dig into that a little bit, because you say you're expecting to lose. You were the first person to go through this tournament completely undefeated. First of all, congratulations. That's an amazing feat. What gave you the feeling that you just shouldn't expect to win, either that particular game or that series or the tournament as a whole?
I know it's a joke, but I know what happened to Ray Zeus. So I thought that same curse was going to happen to me for my last game. And also, so for what I did for practice was I asynced some of Spica's seeds. And yeah, I actually lost most of them. So, and funny enough, some of the races that I lost against them, the ones that I asynced, were actually ice rod hunts. So yeah, that was a really big surprise to me. But yeah, that's one of the reasons why I thought I was going to lose, because yeah, when I asynced those seeds, it kind of crushed my confidence.
It's actually a really good strategy of seeing if you can beat the opponent on an async seed that they had already run, just to kind of gauge where you are. So okay, I understand that comment a little bit more. We'll go through more of the tournament. I just wanted to get a couple things out of the way. But let's talk about your background on video gaming and Legend of Zelda as a whole. Was this a game that you had played back when it was current, or did you come a bit after that?
Yeah. So I played Link to the Past as a child. Never beat it though, because my family never owned a console, and so I just play it at my friend's house. But yeah, after that, I've played a majority of them, like Awakening, Oracle of Seasons. Really, the only ones that I've never played were Z1, Z2, Skyward Sword, I think, and Minish Cap. But yeah, yeah, I played a majority of them.
What would you say is your favorite out of them? Is it Link to the Past?
I want to say actually it's Majora's Mask. Because that one I remember the most as a kid when I played it, and that kind of got me into Ocarina of Time, and then also like kind of convinced me to like replay like Link to the Past since I never finished it.
Actually, never played Majora's Mask, so I can't really comment on it. But I hear a lot of people say that is an amazing game. Pants or Sean, have you played Majora's Mask? What do you think of it?
I think have rather infamously never played anything past A Link to the Past when it comes to Zelda games. No, I have not played that one.
I completely skipped the Nintendo 64 as a console, so I have not played Majora's Mask.
And I'd say I probably didn't play it because I was not a huge fan of Ocarina of Time. I mean, it was fun, but it was not the same as, it was not the same kind of Zelda that I grew up on. So just kind of different styles of games. Okay, so you're going through, your younger years, not playing Link to the Past, or not completing Link to the Past, at least right away. But then eventually, you get into Rando. How did you find Rando?
Oh, so one of my favorite games is Hollow Knight, and I don't remember how the conversation went, but I was talking about it with a friend, and I just wanted a different way to play it. So he recommended that I do a randomizer for it. So I looked that up, and then I started doing that. And then eventually I got tired of it. And then I started looking up other randos. Obviously, one of them was Link to the Past, but I've also done like Golden Sun 2, Octopath Traveler, Twilight Princess. I tried Ocarina of Time, but I couldn't get into it because I was using an emulator and I wanted to learn like the no logic glitches for it. And so most of the inputs are like really precise, and the input delay was really annoying, so I gave up on that.
I got to stop you right there. Did you say Octopath Traveler? There's a randomizer for Octopath Traveler?
Yes, there is.
It's crazy.
It's a bit weird, though. I didn't really understand the logic behind it, so I just kind of winged it whenever I played it.
Okay, and how did those first rando seeds, that rando experience, go for you in Link to the Past?
Oh, really fun. Really tough because I couldn't remember where all the checks were. So like I would just do open modes, and it would take me like 4 or 5 hours to complete a seed. But eventually, I moved on, and yeah.
So I have a follow-up for that. So when you started in A Link to the Past randomizer, how long were you playing before you realized that trackers were a thing?
Oh, I didn't realize about trackers until I actually got into racing. Yeah.
So you just kind of went through and, hope for the best. Maybe you remembered like, oh yeah, K45 is a thing.
Yeah. No, that's exactly how it went pretty much. Just going through any random spot really and hope that there's a check there. And then eventually it becomes muscle memory and you just remember it.
And what kind of time frame is this? How long ago did you actually start really digging into Link to the Past randomizer?
So I started last year in February. I played it for about almost a month, and then that's when I moved on. So I didn't get into racing until like later.
Is the mentor tournament your first like exposure to racing, or were you doing anything on ladder? Some people have done like Reddit async seeds just to have a community to play against.
Oh, definitely not my first race. I was doing, the pickup races on the Tark channel or Tark Discord, and also the old ladder when it was alive back then.
Have you gotten into any other modes other than what you played in the mentor tournament?
Yeah, so I think, definitely before the mentor tournament, I was really getting into cross keys. But that was pretty much it. The only other modes I did were open, Cas boots, and I forgot. There was another mode on ladder that I used to do, but it was mainly cross keys before the mentor tournament.
Yeah, that's a really complex mode. Is there anything that drew you to cross keys or entrance in particular?
Yeah. So I was getting bored of open and Cas boots, so I wanted something more interesting. Before cross keys, I was doing a bit of 80 keys. I really enjoyed that a lot, and then I just wanted something a bit harder. And also, like I was always seeing like people doing cross keys races, so that was like one of the reasons why I wanted to learn it, so I could join in and learn what all the fun's about.
Yeah, it's definitely a popular mode and kind of a next step to modes after the mentor tournament, which I'm sorry we did, open and casual boots, which you say you were bored of by the time you started moving on to cross keys and such.
Oh, no. I didn't mean it like that, but like, they're two completely different modes, obviously, but learning more about open and Cas boots was like really fun for me.
Cool. So you're in the Tark Discord, you're doing ladder, you're doing pickup races. You hear about the mentor tournament. Like, what's your thought? Like, because you're already experienced, maybe about 15 so months into it, but still a relatively newer player. And I don't know what your ladder ranking was. I don't know how you were doing on, one-on-one matches or anything. But did you immediately say, yeah, that's for me? Or, I might be past that at this point, because we have all sorts of different skill levels in the mentor tournament. And I mean, based on, the async that we had, you were certainly within the acceptable time to get in there, more of an intermediate player. But what was your thought about even joining in the first place?
Oh, I was actually on the fence about joining because when I was reading the rules, I saw that if you were an experienced player, then you wouldn't be allowed in. So I was like, I don't know how good I am, but I'll try anyways because I do want to get better at execution and open and Cas boots because. When I was doing those type of seeds, like honestly, like I didn't know how to play. I was just pretty much winging it every time. So I wanted to learn like how to go through things more properly.
Yeah, I definitely think even an intermediate player and even 12, 15 months into the game, there's still so much to learn. Like I've been playing for like 7 years. I'm sure there's still points that I can pick up on this. Maybe I should join the mentor tournament next year. But let's talk a little bit about getting into the mentor tournament, right? What was your experience with your mentors? And to add to that, I guess, who were your mentors?
So I only had one mentor the entire time. I stuck with Coin Chaser. Honestly, it was an amazing time. I learned a lot from him. And the reason why I stuck with him was because I wanted to get into NMG, and I knew he was an NMG runner because of his mentor bio. And also, whenever we did a co-op, whenever we did a seed, I really liked how he would process me through the seed, like that way of playing. So that's why. that's why I stuck with him.
Yeah, we get a lot of people who kind of just click with a mentor and stick with them. And then the other strategy is get a new mentor every week and get a whole bunch of perspectives. I don't think either one of them is incorrect. I think there's a lot to learn from everybody. So, well, I mean, definitely Coin Chaser is a good one to pick if you want to learn, quite a bit about the game. And yeah, he's a pretty good NMG runner as well. So you're getting mentored. You're in the Swiss stages. You're starting to rack up some wins. So I'd have to pull up, and let me actually pull up here. Hawk, maybe edit this out. Let me pull up the scoreboard. Okay. So you're in the group stages. You're starting to rack up some wins. Looks like you faced Chinese, Dave, aka Tyrant, Buttergrapes, Flying Platypus Dimitri, Gumby, and Zaxarai. Do you have any like moments that you would remember either like leading up to one of those matches, like, oh man, I've seen this person play, they're pretty good, I wonder how this is going to work, or any moments during any of those races where you're like, you felt good or you felt awful because you pulled out a win in each of them, so it must have been pretty good either way. What do you remember from any of those races?
Oh man, I want to say like a little bit of everything of what you said, because I didn't know, because like I've had experience, so like I'm kind of familiar with runners in the community, but everyone that I faced, like I had no idea who they were, so I never knew what to expect. So I think later on during the Swiss stages, I want to say like week 4 through 6, you get a better idea of how everyone plays, because you can see all their matches, so you get a better overview of them. Once I got up to weeks 4 through 6 and I was watching their VODs, other player VODs, I'm like, oh man, this is getting really scary, because like these people are so good. Like I don't know what to expect or what to do.
I'm taking a quick look at the times in weeks 1 through 6, and if I'm not mistaken, each one of them you beat by at least 5 minutes is what it looks like. So dang.
Yeah, I have to give a shout out to Coin Chaser for that, for helping me throughout the race.
If you're not comfortable answering this, because I don't know, you don't want to call anyone out, but who was the toughest that you were either anxious to face, or you thought like, man, this is going to be the toughest match of the tournament in the group stage of those 6? Oh man,
so I was afraid of everyone, but the most I was afraid of was definitely Zacharai. Just because I've been watching him play and seeing like how fast he's improved. Like that was like super scary to me. And not only that, his mentor that week, because I know he was switching every week, but for that week it was Gamachu. And so we all knew who Gamachu is. So I was like, oh man, this is gonna be really sweaty or like really tough to beat.
Definitely. Yeah, and looking, even at Zach Sarai or any of your opponents for those 6 weeks, I mean, all good players, and the way that Swiss works, of course, it gets harder and harder every week because they all have the same record as you, and so they're just as likely to win as you are at that point. So definitely by week 6, it's got to be a little bit nerve wracking. Let's talk brackets. So, I mean, again, you made a hell of a run going undefeated. Any expectations going in? So your first round opponent was Officer Meow Meow, who you did not face, but probably had seen a little bit of.
I was feeling really confident against them, just because before the match, I watched their VODs, and after watching it, I was like, okay, I definitely have like an execution advantage against them. So I can play pretty thoroughly, and I think if I just do that, like I can just win.
Actually, before I go to next round, the brackets aren't mentored. You don't have Coin Chaser as a backup, someone to bounce ideas off of, or to adjust your mistakes, like as you're making in real time. What was it like going in without a safety net?
Oh, that was, it's kind of scary. Well, scary at first because, during Swiss, like Coin Chaser would definitely point out my mistakes or like what I needed to remember. But also, I think that's where my experience with races helped a lot because, obviously, like in pickup races, you don't have a mentor with you. So I was kind of used to it already by then. But it was definitely intimidating for me because, like, you have a mentor for 6 weeks straight and then they're gone all of a sudden. So do I remember how to play without a mentor?
And your next round opponent was Fernap. I don't know if you remember all the way back in round 2 of the brackets, but any thoughts?
I was worried about Fernap as well because Coin Chaser was also his mentor. So I wasn't sure if Fernap asked him for help, like any tips against me, because Coin Chaser knows how I play. So I wouldn't be surprised if Fernap did that. So I honestly didn't know what to expect. But I did know that I had an execution advantage with him as well. So I played risky in one of my games, and I actually should have lost that game, but unfortunately, Fernap soft locked in GT, I think, and because of that, like I won.
Was it the quadrant glitch or something?
He picked up the GT. So GT Big Key was on Torch, and so he mirrored out on the same frame. He picked it up. And because of that, when he got to the entrance, he couldn't move at all. So he had to reset his game and he had to redo Turtle Rock all over again.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Bummer. All right. As well, you got 2-0 on that. Centroid was your semifinals opponent.
Oh, boy. That match, I can't remember which one it was, but one of them had mitts. We had mitts by the time we left Escape. So that was a first for me. And I don't like it getting mitts that early because once you find other things, like the whole map pretty much opens up to you. So I kind of freaked out and did a bunch of random plays, and yeah, it didn't work out in the beginning, but like later on I got bailed out by, I think it was Purple Chest, which had the flippers, and then Mushroom in Hype Cave, where if you turn that in, that gave you Ice Rod, which was required for TR. So that definitely bailed me out.
I'm pretty sure I was restreaming that match, and I remember saying in chat, whether I was restreaming or not, but I remember saying in chat, like, his map has got to be all green right now, which is awful for him.
Yeah, that's exactly how I felt. And one other thing I forgot to mention, but I was definitely worried against Centroid because honestly, like I'm not bad mouthing anyone here, but I was expecting Zach to win against Centroid, but Centroid beat him 2-0, and I was like, oh wow. I don't really know who Centroid is because I didn't face him in Swiss, but like if you beat Zach 2-0, like I have to be like really worried about him.
Yeah, definitely. Those two, I thought would have been, really tough for anyone to beat. So it was definitely a good series. I think either way, who your opponent was. And then the finals match, or matches rather, against Spica. Anything memorable about that other than winning?
Oh no! Besides winning, I think it was the first game is when I think I either died or fell to Ganon, and when that happened, like my heart literally just dropped right there because I had a feeling like it was gonna be. I had a feeling like Spica was either fighting him or it was gonna be super super close if I refought Ganon. So yeah, I'm still surprised that I won that, surprisingly. Match 2. Match 2 was nerve-wracking, of course, but I think at a certain point I became more relaxed just because like I kind of predicted how the seed would go and what Spica needed to do. Because I'd gotten Fire Rod out of Saha's closet. And so I was thinking, okay, there's a chance that Spica skipped this because we had early Dark World access. So he's probably doing that first before Saha. So I was thinking, okay, he's going to have to double dip Skullwood. And then I'm trying to remember. Oh, and then at that somewhere, I think it was like near the end, I decided to dip Pendant Desert. And I did that mainly just because I think it was a Quake and Ice Rod hunt still. So I was hoping one of those would be in there, but it wasn't. And I was thinking Spica would skip it. And then, yeah, EP I did with Pod, which turned out to be junk. Sorry, I'm trying to remember everything.
And if you don't remember all the details, look, I don't remember the details of the race I did this morning. So you remembering 3 weeks back, I don't expect the details.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, all throughout, I mean, you did face some very tough opponents. Like, anybody in Gold Sword, I felt could have won, right? Obviously, there can only be one winner. But if I were to have filled out a prediction bracket on this, I would have maybe guessed two of them right. I mean, it's anybody's game at that stage.
Yeah, no, I completely agree.
Pants, Sean, any other questions on the mentor tournament itself for Dennis?
Yeah, so you were with Coin Chaser for all 6 rounds of the Swiss. What would you say is the top thing that you took from his mentoring you, technique or strategy or what?
Definitely execution. Yeah, because a lot of the strats he showed me were from NMG, and that overall just helped me improve my execution so much. Also with the logic, that's kind of hard to say, I guess. Basically, I guess the main point was to chase after density, and also considering other options, like what's available to you, and not like just go straight to one place just because that's in logic, I guess. It's kind of hard for me to explain, but that's really what I got out from Coin Chaser. I know it isn't much to say, but yeah.
Yeah, you also said that Coin Chaser taught you a lot of NMG strategies. Did he give you like a practice plan or anything like that?
Not really. I think so during Swiss, not really, because it was just basically whenever we did the matches, it's basically like co-op. But he would mainly guide me around, and then like later matches, he kind of like weaned off of that and gave me more control of the seed. But during brackets, he didn't really give me plans until like I think the last 2 weeks, because I guess like he was watching my VODs, and then he'd tell me, try and do this next time, or do this, or try and not do that. So yeah, that's how it kind of went.
So outside of the mentor tournament, let me try that again. So outside of the mentor tournament, right? I did a little bit of investigation on speedrun.com just to see, hey, do you do any other speedrunning in other games? And there was nothing there officially, but I did see you have submitted one that's an NMG run that's pending approval. Looks like you got a 138.13 on your first submission. So I guess we got another one for NMG. How much have you been running that now?
So that submission was actually my first actual run of NMG. I did that run just to test everything out, like my splits and what I know so far. And then I haven't been doing too much except for like room grinds, because I do want to get so right now my goal is to get a sub 90 So right now I'm just trying to work on that. And then after that, I don't know exactly what I'll do, but I do want to keep running NMG for a bit.
Yeah.
I know.
Are there any challenges in speed running that you maybe didn't run into in Rando?
Oh yeah. NMG is definitely a humbling experience. Because some stuff does transfer from Rando to NMG, but not all of it. Like the menuing, definitely the safeties. Because I've realized like how much I actually depend on it in Rando, and then in NMG, I'm like, oh man, like what do I do without powder or without these bottles and stuff? So it's definitely a humbling experience so far.
Sub 90 is definitely a goal that, kind of shows, okay, I'm actually pretty good at this game. So it's also my goal too. I've got a 136, and I'm looking forward to seeing like where you take it. I know some of your opponents have also taken up NMG, so maybe it's a natural next step. Maybe it's just something else to do. But looking forward to seeing that. What else do you have in store other than NMG? I mean, the main tournament has just been announced. I don't know if you've looked at that and been interested. League will be coming up likely after the start of the year. There's always tournaments and new events going on. What do you have plans for Rando coming up?
Oh man, I don't actually have any plans for Rando right now. I saw the main tournament open up, and honestly, I just want to focus on NMG for now. I don't know if I'll join League. It depends like how I'm still feeling about NMG at that point, I guess. I don't even know what League is, but really overall, I don't have any plans for Rando. I'll probably just do pickup races for now every now and then, but primarily the focus is NMG, and honestly, I don't know after that.
Fair enough. Pants, Sean, anything to send him off with? Because I'm good here.
No, I don't think so. I think just GG's and winning the gold sword bracket, and thank you for joining us.
Just one more question about NMG, because I am a speedrunner. Everybody has that one room that they really don't like. So what's yours?
Oh boy. Can I mention a few? Is that allowed?
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah, sure.
One is definitely the Dark Maze in Aga Tower. This one might seem a little silly, but the Spike Switch room in GT after Mimics. I've actually been having trouble with that lately. I want to say, I'm trying to think of another one. I want to say Swamp overall. I just hate Swamp. That's just me. Oh, and one more. Also, Pokies 2 and TR.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I will echo MAP's GG, and good luck in your future endeavors.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, no, my pleasure. Thank you for having me here, and also thank you for hosting such a great tournament. Honestly, I had an amazing time, and I'm hoping if anyone who's listening in wants to join, I really recommend it.
You might even be able to see Sin Dennis as a mentor next year if you join.
We'll see.
All right. Well, as we usually do, let's go to GMP community updates. First things first, we've already talked a lot about the Meta tournament, but one big thing here was because of his effort, his support, everything he was able to help with on this. MrAngryPants is our new community manager, joining Malmo, Vex, and myself. So, MrAngryPants, welcome to the inner circle, or at least I guess the secondary circle. I think the inner circle is the hosts, Tim, Dandy, and Herfy Durfy, but I think we're the new hosts anyway.
I was say, when do I get that the green name in the Discord? No, thank you. It's I really appreciate when you had asked me to to move up from a mod to be a community manager. I like GMP. So I was in the mentor tournament the same year as Sean in 2022. I did not do as well as Sean did. But I felt that I'm very vocal about this, that the best event in the community is the mentor tournament, and I've played in it as a racer. I've mentored, and I helped run it now for 2 years. This year I had stepped back from being a mentor because I wanted to devote more time to be able to help out on the mod side, and I really wanted to ramp up the race streaming. And I knew I couldn't do that if I was mentoring, which I did miss a lot. So, but I don't know, all of that. Like, it's such a fantastic event, and it's such a fantastic community that I'm really happy to help out.
Yeah, I mean, we're on the same wavelength here. This is a great community. I want to see it grow and succeed, and it's been around since I think 2018. And this podcast is still going, maybe a little less frequently, but the mentor tournament is there, right? Everybody comes out of the woodwork for that every year, and even beyond, right? We still get support. We're very well known, across the broader community. I want to see this thing still continue, and so I think Pants, you playing a part in that is awesome. There's another thing that I want to add here. I know we've done the bi-weekly seed, and we'll get a bi-weekly seed out for this one. It's been far from bi-weekly, but we will get another one out there. But I want to introduce something new, and I don't know how well this will take off. I put some feelers out there in the Discord. There's a game called Connections, and the basics of it are there are 16 tiles or names or words, and you have to identify what is connecting a group of 4 of them. So there will be 4 groups of 4. And the one I put out there was, maybe it was simple or not, but it was just a test to show, like, okay, here's Boomerang and Cane and Armor and Sword, right? Among 16 or 12 other tiles. And the thing that combined them together was, they come in multiple different colors or something along those lines. I don't remember the specifics of it, but I do want to make sure that we have a new connections puzzle that the GMP community can play with every podcast, right? Don't tell them this, but I did steal this from the Final Fantasy VI Worlds Collide community. So, shout out to them. I mean, they're innovative. You see something good, and it's something that what is it? What's the phrase? Imitation is the best form of flattery, or something like that. So I'll put a link out to that. And what I'd like to do is I'd like to crowdsource this. I do not want to make a new connections puzzle every time. I want everyone listening to put something together. So I'll put out a form with a way to submit the link to your connections puzzle, and then of course you'll be credited with this on the podcast. But it's just something cool to put out. Pants or Sean? I guess we'll start with Sean. He hasn't been called on in a while. Any thoughts on this new connections puzzle?
Yeah, so I tried the first one and I failed spectacularly. I only got one of the 4 groups before I ran out of tries. So it's definitely something you need to get used to. I believe the New York Times publishes a daily connections puzzle along with all of their other puzzles that they do. So yeah, I just need to get used to playing it before I try it again in the Zelda sphere.
I know you had posted the connections puzzle. before, and I remember looking at it and it just confusing me, and then I closed that tab and did not even complete it. So, but you have the captive audience here while we're recording, so I will make it. I will make my best effort to see how well I can do on the next one that gets posted.
Very good. So look for that as long as we put out podcasts. There's a lot that Pants and I and the other community managers have been talking about, like what we see as a vision for GMP, and the podcast has been a big part of that. It's in the name, Go Mode Podcast. We definitely want to have this more regularly. Look, we've been talking for a long time here, and I'm sure there's still even more we could talk about. Maybe if we had it more regularly, we wouldn't have as much to talk about per episode, right? So that's one thing. This is still kind of an open mic situation. As I mentioned last time, if you and two others really want to get on the mic and talk about things going on in the community, reach out to us. That's cool. We're here because we want to be here, right? Pants and Sean and I were like, let's do a podcast. It's the end of the mentor tournament. There's a lot that's happened over the last 4 months. So we do want to have that more regularly. I know Tim Herf and Dante had put it out bi-weekly. Maybe we could aim for that, or that'd be a nice goal. But monthly, I think minimum would be pretty good for this. There's a lot of other things to either clean up or organize or reorganize. One definitely is I want to get the website back up. Timp actually owns that, and right now it's not functioning. So we're working with Timp on like how to coordinate, getting that back up. And then the last thing is we're brainstorming. We've got a lot of ideas. There's only so much free time that we have to devote to this, but we are definitely brainstorming on how to improve or enhance this community.
Yeah, I've had numerous conversations with Lumaga and Vex and the Malvo and the other in the mods about things that I'm thinking we can do to revamp it. And so I thought this, we're putting on the podcast. This could be a good time to solicit feedback from our community, because you all are the reason that we're here doing the podcast, that we're managing the Discord, and I have a lot of, well, not a lot, but I have some changes with the Discord that I'm thinking about. I like some things that I've talked to Lumaga specifically about is expanding our learning section, making it a little more robust. Right now, it focuses on kind of the what's the word I'm looking at? Not the simpler, but the early tricks you should learn, and maybe if we can expand that area of the Discord to include more difficult things, or more niche tricks, or strategies, or for more complex modes. I think there's a lot of area for that to grow, because one of the big things, one of the big goals of the Go Mode podcast that's been for a long time has been to teach people how to play. I think another one that I'd like to do is, we have this momentum from the mentor tournament where we've put on a lot of restreams, and I think don't expect another 60 restreams over the next 2 months, but try to do something a little more regular. Try to come up with some events we can do where we can restream those. While I was digging through some of the old files, for the restreaming resources, I came across some really fantastic OBS images for the old grudge match, and I'd might like to bring that back where people can, if two people have something, some issue with each other, and the only way to settle it is in the ring. Well, come on and we'll ring that bell and we'll throw you on the restream and you can fight it out in A Link to the Past. So things like that. Also, just other things that you if there's other aspects of the the Discord that you'd like to see expanded, or another one that we were talking about. We had a lot of our mentees do a multi-world a couple weeks ago. And we have some archived channels that is that something, some old archived multi-world channels, is that something our community might like to see revived and get some use? Have a dedicated voice channel just for multi-world, and a dedicated channel just for multi-world planning. So things like that where we can spruce things up a little bit. Well, shake the dust out of the curtains. But I know Sean, not being a mod or community manager, a lot of this stuff is fairly you're hearing for the first time. What do you have any thoughts on all of or any of the stuff I just talked about?
I love the grudge match idea. There's certainly some people that I would like to call out myself, but I know there's a lot of others that may also enjoy this semi-public setting to call people out. So yeah, it reminds me a lot of professional wrestling, which I know you watch a lot of. So someone just gets up in the camera and calls somebody out, and they have their match. So yeah, I love it. I would love to see more events and such from this community. I really love this community. It's definitely that, like, there's a reason I restreamed 25 races and mentored another 18 or 19, right? So yeah, I would definitely love to see more events, and yeah, let's do it.
That also I forgot to mention another change that will be happening is, so for years now the restream scheduling, the calling for volunteers has been behind roles. It's in a channel that's behind roles. Don't be surprised if in the near future you see that channel opened up and just as a way to encourage anyone who might want to give a try to tracking or to commentary, or who wants to learn how to restream. I would love to get more restreamers set up with our system. So if that's something you want to do, come, just send me a DM or ping me in the Discord, and I can work to get you set up with the set up with restreaming. But yeah, we'll have a channel open for everybody to volunteer if they want to try their hand at commentary. If you've never done it before, we would work to pair you up with an experienced commentator to help you through till you get your feet under you. Or if you want to help out with tracking, I think that was a really big thing that I like. I don't think we did a single restream where we had to capture the runner's own trackers. I think we had a tracker volunteer for every single race, which is just fantastic too.
Yeah, this community has always been about learning. Like even back in the first dozen or so episodes, like just the basics. How do you even play this game? How do you route a dungeon? What do you look for? What do you not? What don't you do? Right. So definitely expanding that and expanding the volunteer space and the learning space and all of this is something we really want to take seriously. You also mentioned grudge matches. That comes up, I don't know, every year. And we do it and then we don't do it. And I think the limiting factor is just, having restreams. There's so many things I want to get done on restream if we can. We used to restream the bi-weekly seed. That's how we even got started on the 4 community managers, previous community managers. We have a channel for blessed and cursed seeds. I would love to, pull a random one and say, okay, here's the seed. Maybe it's blessed, maybe it's cursed. Who wants to volunteer for a 4-way restream and see it? I think that'd be fun, right? I mean, pick your poison. There's a lot of things we can do, but it definitely does start with volunteers and getting. It's not even just in GMP. If you know how to restream, there's other tournaments looking for restreamers, right? Putting their things on. Any tournament is going to want a restreamer to be able to kind of brand their tournament and make their mark. So look for all of those new ideas coming and all of that. All right, why don't we get to shout outs? We've been talking for a long frickin' time. I'd love to, maybe take a breather here. I don't know, MrAngryPants, why don't you go first?
Well, we've hinted at it a few times, but we're wrapping up the mentor tournament. My shout out is to everyone who volunteered, all of our mentors, all of our commentators, all of our trackers, our restreamers. Sean throwing out 25 restreams by himself. I have to say I'm a little jealous that I wasn't able to top that myself. But I wasn't going to give up my vacation. So, but big thank you to Sean. Like not only did he do the 25 restreams, he mentored a whole mess of races. I don't have the numbers for who mentored the most. I've heard it's Mormisil, who also I believe was our top commentator. This year with our volunteers, because we had so many people who speak English as a second language, and they don't feel comfortable giving an interview in English, we were able to bring in commentators like Mormisil and Phoenix and Star from the Francophone community, and we have Baku, a former mentee and mentor who came in and has done his first English commentary. I think just a big thank you to everybody who's really come forward and helped us do all of this stuff. I mean, if we weren't getting commentators and trackers, we wouldn't be putting on 60 restreams this year. That's my big shout out. I'm gonna keep gushing about the volunteers with my mic muted.
Sean, what's your shout out?
I just want to shout out all of you lovely people. You are why we do this. We wouldn't do this, and I wouldn't do restreams or whatever unless I knew people were interested in it. So, big shout out to everybody who makes all of this possible.
And my shout out is actually to MrAngryPants. I've already shouted him out at the end of our Gold Sword matches, but it's true. I would not have been able to run this tournament this year without all the help that he put in. Most of our moderators had already told us, like, hey, I won't be available for this, right? And we actually brought in Radical Sniper, Jesse, to help with backup because we knew we were going to be shorthanded. And it just became very clear early on. Like, I know this is always a lot of work, but we've always had, many hands, and we were down to less than half of the support that we normally get. And that's exactly why he's the, new community manager. He was playing that role before we promoted him. We didn't promote him and say, okay, can you do this? It's like, no, you're already doing this. Let's true up what the role is. So, again, thank you so much. This was a huge success. And I credit you for a lot of that. Thank you. Well, I think there's nothing left for us to cover. Maybe we'll see you again in another few weeks. I am Lumaga.
I am MrAngryPants.
And I am Sean, also known as secretlyasliver.
And it's time to mirror out. Okay, awesome.
Man, yeah, that's going to be a long episode.
Yeah, sorry, Hawk.